3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, I had no idea. Okay. Well,
Okay,
back to business.
this is our business.
Yes. A new episode of Big and Stupid Game Reviews. I'm Stupid J.
And I am Big Mike.
I'm Big Mike.
Oh no, we're not doing that.
We're not doing that game yet.
Okay. What are we doing today, Jay? Oh, well, we're doing Tomb Raider.
Cool.
The reboot of Tomb Raider. With the same name as the first Tomb Raider.
And same character.
Well, I hope so. So, Tomb Raider.
Yes.
So, what do we do at the beginning? I forget.
We always say what we don't like, and then we go into what we do like. No, wait. It's the opposite.
That's the opposite.
It is the opposite.
Yeah. So let's talk about what we do like first.
Alright, well, I literally just beat this game 10 minutes ago, so it's much more fresher in my mind. There's a lot of great stuff about this game, but the biggest thing, that's probably the weirdest thing that I picked out that I really love about it, is just the little things. And most of it's environmental. Raindrops, like, on the camera. You actually see dust floating in the air. When you're climbing stuff, you see dirt fall from underneath your feet. Just that little stuff just was really mind-blowing. Music is killer in this. This is the way I want a platformer to be, too. The controls for platforming are absolutely perfect. I had no issues, and the only times I died during platforming is because I fucked up my timing. Well, that's my fault. That's not the game. The game, when it comes to that, is just perfect. This is the way I want my platforming games to be. It's awesome. It's well written. I love the voice actor for Lara. She's awesome. Good voice acting all around. Pretty cool story. It's not amazing or anything, but I mean, it's enough to, like, here, go and kill people and climb stuff. Cool! You know? But, you know, it's better than climb and kill stuff, the video game. So, you know. But it looks really good. One of the best tutorials ever. And the whole introduction where you're learning how to play the game. Where you're going in the cave. Fucking awesome. Just awesome. And it's one of the few games where I don't mind dying. Because every time you die, it's awesome.
There are great death animations.
There has been more than once where I'm like, wonder if I should just die here and see what happens. Because I know the animation will probably be pretty fucking cool. So, yeah.
And it usually is.
Yeah, for the most part. Except for the damn waterfall, which I did like 12 times because I kept screwing it up. You're well, you do like a million times. You fall a million times. Because Laura is extremely clumsy.
Yes.
And the one waterfall where you're going down.
Oh, yeah.
During the plane part.
I know what you're talking about now.
If you go too hard to the right, too hard to the left, your whole body goes over.
Yeah.
And I kept getting like shrapnel in my head, my face, but
I remember that one.
I mean,
that was a good one.
Some of those were a little difficult, but I mean, that's literally like a 10-second part of the game.
They're not long.
But I mean, most of them are actually really fun. I mean, most of them really are. We got a quick whoop out your shotgun and shoot, you know, the barriers and stuff like that.
They give you plenty of time. That was never a problem.
Yeah, but man, this game is...
You're right. Well, we were talking about it before. I never have a problem with the controls in the Assassin's Creed games, but these are top notch.
Now go back and play one Assassin's Creed.
No, I do. I play Assassin's Creed all the time, but yeah, the controls are way better.
Yeah,
they just are. The Assassin's Creed took from the original Tomb Raider games, and the old Tomb Raider games are kind of clumsy, but this one's, I mean, they did a great job.
Yeah.
The animations, the platforming, everything you said. I love this game.
Yeah.
I played it. I found myself barely using guns because that bow and arrow is fantastic. Sneaking around, because, you know, you can go in guns a-blazing.
Yep.
But I was having more fun sneaking around, going up, getting a good vantage point, sticking an arrow through the guy's head when the other ones don't know. The AI is pretty dumb when it comes to that, you know.
Sometimes.
It shoot, you shoot the guy goes,
Yeah.
falls down, and the guy, 6 feet in front of him doesn't even look back.
Yeah. I would have definitely stayed with the bow and arrow the whole game if it wasn't for the achievements. Because there was basically an achievement for every weapon.
Yeah.
Like, kill somebody with this. Alright. And then the more I was using these different weapons, I was like, holy shit, this is fucking fun.
Yeah.
And then I was getting a better... And then when I saw, like, oh, here's a big brute guy. I know which weapon's best. Here comes the guy with the shield. I know the best way to fight this guy.
Yep.
Oh, here's a Cronin. I'm
yeah.
going in for sneak attacks.
Yeah, when it's the guys with the shield, you gotta use guns on.
But
yeah, the game's great. It has a good story. The platforming's top notch. I mean, probably the best. And I play a lot of third-person platforming games. That's what I like. This one had probably the best controls. They're just great. So, the game's great.
Yeah.
There is some stuff that I had problems with.
Well, let's go for it.
It never felt like... It kept introducing stuff all the way through. So you kind of kept getting, like, little tutorials, oh, the axe is this, now you get this upgrade. Like, almost all the way to the end, you're getting new stuff. And, like, by the time you get the last 2 things, it's like, I use that for that one thing that you have to use it for, and then what was the point of having it? Like, just little stuff like that, and then it never really feels like a platformer, because it's like, it's got the platforming parts, but until probably 3/4 of the way through, there wasn't anything like epic to climb up.
Yeah.
Everything was pretty straightforward and simple. And it's kind of jarring because, like, it'll go from the platforming section to a cover-based third-person shooter section to one of those QuickTime event, sliding down something. Every once in a while, you get into one of those side dungeons, which I thought was the best part. But it was like, once you figured out that one puzzle, it's over. I was like, give me 2 or 3 parts.
No, one of my biggest complaints is the tombs. It's awesome to find them, but the tomb is literally walking in, crouching in between stuff, and I think that's just a clever loading screen, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because it's just, you're pushing the stick and you can't really do anything.
Yeah.
So I think that's just a clever loading screen. But it's really cool. I mean, it's neat
looks
the way she squeezes and the camera changes. But every tomb is literally one puzzle.
One puzzle.
And that's it.
For the most part, they're very easy.
You can beat them in like 10 minutes or less.
Yeah, there was 1 or 2 that I had problems with that I had to do a couple times.
The only one I had a real issue with was the one where you have to lift the gate and the buoy goes around in a circle. Did you find that one?
I'm not sure.
That's the only one I had an issue with.
I had one that had explosive gas.
Yes.
And then you had to... But that was... Once I figured that out, it was easy. But
Well, I had a problem with the buoy because that one was based on timing. Like, I can figure out the order, like, okay, 1, 2, 3, got it. But if it's like, do this, wait 5 seconds, then jump just correctly at the right time, then it's when I fuck up.
Well, I'm used to doing those sorts of things on Assassin's Creed with worse controls. So.
Yeah, but yeah, it totally would have been awesome to have a bigger and better tombs. QuickTime, fucking hate QuickTime. Always will.
Yeah,
still do.
The ones in this aren't too bad. They're not. It's all Y.
There is X. They throw that in once in a while.
Every once in a while.
The X is mainly for when you're
grabbing stuff.
Yeah, when you're...
But that's how the old ones were too.
Yeah.
When you're falling and you got to grab onto something, you got to, you know.
But I mean, there were times where you're in a fight scenario, and or even if you're doing your dodge attacks, throw dirt in the guy's face, and then you go in with the pickaxe. You got to time that correctly to get an instant kill, or if you're fighting a bigger boss character, sometimes they throw the X in there, and I'm like, what the fuck? And it like completely throws me off.
Yeah, the bosses were pretty lame, but I mean,
the big samurai fight was pretty cool. I mean,
yeah, but it was one of those.
Yeah, you've done that a million times.
Yeah, you do this.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you knock this much of his thing off, and then you get a QuickTime event, and that does something and knocks more armor off.
But he literally almost kills you with one hit.
Yeah.
And so you can't go in guns a-blazing on that guy, and there is technique to that. And since the first time you see him, you're like, oh, I can't wait to fight that. I can't wait. And you do, and he doesn't disappoint. He's not an easy fight.
Yeah.
You know? But...
So the game is great. there's little things, but it.
My main problem with QuickTime, and that is the action controls. They're not bad. They're not bad at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I play a lot of third-person cover-based shooters, and you know that. So they're not bad, and it's the fact that it literally takes control for you.
Mm-hmm.
The minute you're like, this is you're like, do, bad guys.
Yeah.
You know, and you're completely fine. I don't like not having full control of my character for that kind of shit. And I'm used to that. You know, I'm used to, like, Army of Two, where it's like, tap A, I'm into this cover, tap it to go over here, hold it to run, dodge. I like having those full controls. And the only real control you have is the B, and that's just to dodge. And even then, the way she dodges is really strange. She does that weird, like, little weird crab walk thing. And I sometimes can't go in the direction I want her to go. And it's not a big deal. And it's not terrible. And the shooting mechanics are fine, they work and whatever. But it's just one of those things where I don't feel like I have full 100% control of the character that I want. You know, it's not a big complaint. It's just a little personal complaint. It doesn't make it bad, you know, at all. And the AI is all over the place. There are times where they're just like, boy, I'm gonna stand over here and pee, brother, because everyone calls each other brother in this a million times. I hope no one attacks me from behind. And that guy is dead. But then there are times where like, yeah, so it's gonna be a quiet day. Do you hear that? And you're like, what? Like, you don't move. And they're like, and all of a sudden you got 8 guys throwing Molotov cocktails on your head, and you're like, are you serious? And
you reminded me. That
Jesus.
was the last thing. This is the last thing I'll say because
you don't like burning to death?
No, well, when they're throwing their things, it doesn't matter. They hit you. I mean,
The Molotovs and the dynamite.
and
yeah.
there's no. I mean, you can sneak around. You can be behind cover, go from here, and sneak. They can't see you moving, but they're throwing it right at you, and they hit you every time. It's like you just have that target right on you.
And that's just another thing with that AI being all over the place, because I really wanted to do more stealth stuff, and I just couldn't do it. It failed more than I was successful. It really did, you know, but it didn't ruin the experience for me, you know. And this isn't a complaint, nor is it a great thing, but it's more of one of those weird questionable things. Laura falls all the time. She's falling off of cliffs. She's landing on her head. She's getting stabbed. She's getting shot. Every 20 minutes, if there's a CG sequence, she's falling off something and practically dead. She can take it. That girl falls off a cliff and she's tough as nails. But when you play the game, she gets a splinter and she's practically dead.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no holding back when it comes to the health in this game at all. I mean, you get shot, you're practically dead. You get stabbed, you're practically dead. But the woman's falling off of mountains, cliffs. I don't know. I just thought it was very odd.
Okay, so what's your final judgment on the game? Is there something wrong? Like, are my balls showing?
It's your daughter. I just think there's something wrong with her.
No, I saw him whispering. Alright, before we find out if my balls are showing, is there anything... What's your recommendation?
I think everyone should at least try it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a feeling by the end of the year when we do our top 3 picks, this is both going to be in our pick. Because this game was awesome. This was awesome.
It's great.
Nice and long. Totally got my money's worth. Multiplayer's tacked on. It's not terrible, but it's not great. But it doesn't matter because the fucking main story is so awesome.
Yep.
And I can't even tell you how many hours I put into it.
Lots.
I mean, I put a lot of time into this. So it's awesome.
It's long like this review.
It is. It is.
So we both recommend that you just get it. It's great.
I also recommend you like us on Facebook and like this channel and like your balls and like Mike's balls.
No,
apparently.
that's where the subscribe thing is.
Yeah.
It's right
I'm not
there.
that fucking fancy. So
like
balls
us
and subscribe.
Yeah.
Subscribe to Mike's
Subscribe
balls.
to my balls. We'll see you next time.